In this video, we do a tilt shift black and white.
Olha que coisa mais linda, mais cheia de graça.
Alright guys, we're going to do an edit on a photo that I took in Lambertville, New Jersey. This is taken on Church Street, and it's obviously facing the church that this street is named for. This was taken in the morning, right? It was kind of during a little, a slight snowfall slash sleet. But I was on my way to a job, and I was passing by church. I took a look, and it looked pretty cool. And so I took a photo. So what I want to do, though, is I want to turn this into a tilt shift photo, and I want to make it black and white. I think with how busy the landscape is, or the cityscape is here, that a black and white will lend pretty good and could be really nice with contrast. So what I want to do is I go ahead, before I do anything, and I make a duplicate layer. So I always want to have something to fall back on in case I really mess it all up and I just want to start over again. And then after I make the duplicate layer, I'm going to make an adjustment layer. And I'm going to go ahead and make a marquee mask on that layer. And I'm going to pick a point, and this roof right here looks like a good point to have my field of blur in. This whole area up here is going to be blurred out, and then I'm going to go after that once done, and I'm going to blur out some of the area down here. What that's going to do is that's going to bring your eye's attention to right here in the center and right into the church doors. Now, normally, it is in the center for the most part, but it's a little off kilter because the street isn't exactly in line. But it does have a little bit of the leading lines with the street, and then also the tire tracks. But I really want to just draw the focus completely into that. So I picked the area that I'm going to blur first. I'm going to select and mask it. Now see how this is a really sharp line here? That's what the blur line is going to be at. So it's going to go from blur here to completely in focus here real quick. I don't want that, so I'm going to feather it out to about 175 and give it a real strong blur field. So that's now a nice smooth transition instead of like a sharp transition, which is going to be really disruptive to the eye when you're looking at it. So now that I got that, I'm going to go up and I'm going to pick a filter and a blur, and I'm going to want a lens blur for this one because that's what I choose. No wrong or right in this. Okay. If you wonder why I did that, took the preview off, it's because my computer's running a little bit slow. That has nothing to do with the editing. So it's got a good blur going on right now. Now, do I want that blur or do I want a different blur? So let me mess with it a little bit. Let's see what I like more. Okay, I like that. I like what's working there. I see what it's doing. Yeah. I think I like that more, to be honest with you. Yeah, I like that more. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna remember those settings, 87 and 77. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I want to remember that. So I want to match it down here as much as I possibly can. So I'm gonna hit OK, and that's gonna apply it and bring me back out to the main photo. Okay. Now we got it back on there. What I want to do now is I want to now do another marquee tool down here. And I want to match the one that was up there. And do I like it to be... Yeah, we'll leave it right there. It's below the tire of the car. I think that's a good point. So we're now going to blur. We're going to do the same thing right here to that side. So same steps, select and mask. And then I want to bring it to the same feather. 175-ish. So there we go. Hit OK. And then exactly the same thing again. Lens blur. And then bring it to the 87 and 77 mark. Okay, there we go. We got the same blur forward down at the bottom as we do at the top. Now, that gives us that tilt shift look to it. So now what I want to do is I am going to go back. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go back into Lightroom with it, and I'm going to change it to black and white and mess with the contrast and all that good stuff into there. So let's switch over to Lightroom. Okay, now we're in Lightroom. So the photo saved over from Photoshop to Lightroom, and now what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to start making the black and white and all the other corrections that I want to make. So changed it over to black and white. We are going to bump up the contrast because I like a high contrast black and white photo. Bring the highlights down. No, I'm not too far. Usually, a lot of people like to bring the highlights all the way down. I'm not going to do it this time. I'm just not going to. I'm going to bring it somewhat down. And then let's mess with the shadows just a little bit. See what that does. There we go. I like that. I like that. Now we're going to bring the highlights down a little bit more. Let's mess with the whites. Let's get it looking real white. And what I like to do is I like to normally bring it to something is just, but I think that's just a bit too, no, maybe not. I think that's just a bit too much. I'm going to bring that down right to there. And then I want to bring the blacks up. There we go. Somewhere right in that realm. Now, not a huge fan of clarity, and mainly because I do a lot of like portrait shots and family photos, and with family photos and people, I'm not a big fan of the high clarity. It's just not my thing. But for shots like this, I'm more of a fan of it. But I don't want to bring it up too high still. There we go. I like the way that's working right now. Let's mess with the temperature. Just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking the way that looks now. So let's go down to sharpening, and I want to mask just a little bit. I think that looks good. There we go. Let's see, do I want the profile correction or not? It doesn't do anything anyway. I didn't think it really would. I was kind of curious. I never tried it after doing the tilt shift effect and Photoshop. I don't think it really can do it after that. Let's see, do I want more clarity? Yeah, I like the clarity right there. Let's go with the contrast right there. More brighter, less brighter. What do you think? More brighter, less brighter? I'm going with right, yeah, leave it alone. Sometimes it's best just to leave things alone, right? So there you go. I think that's the final product right there. I hope you like it. But that's how I take a photo from being just a plain Jane photo to something just a little bit different for the eye. So, hope you enjoyed it. And hope you enjoy the other videos that I'll be putting out of me editing. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but if you learned something, that's good. I'm glad you learned something. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.